Cash flow, baby.
There
That's
you
What's
go.
that for me?
and I don't really know much about what most other traders at the company do, honestly. Besides what we talk about here on the show.
Yeah.
I don't really know much about what Roger does or what Lance does or what Jeff Smith does or I mean I've talked to him here and there. We used to do a show called what was it? Ask the Pros. And
Yeah.
we I would get a little more feeling for what other people were into, but and we don't really get that cross-pollination anymore. So I have no idea what Graham and Nate do. I have no clue at all.
They do a
So
lot of options. They really love the options market and debit spreads. And, Roger does everything. He trades every single thing out there, you know, and Tom has his way. And, yeah, everybody's just a little bit different. I like to focus on cash flow. I used to be 100% directional trader. I still do a little bit of that, but 99% of what I'm doing now is just cash flow stuff.
you know, I like to make money, so I don't try to pigeonhole myself into anything except just trying to get a little piece in the market and put it in my account every day.
Every
So
day. And you're good at that. You're a grinder. I would say that's your specialty.
Hmm.
You're a grinder.
He's a
Every day,
grinder.
all day. Every day, all day. You're on it.
So, before we get too much into it, though, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Just because things worked in the past doesn't mean they keep working in the future. This market is kind of cyclical in nature. Things come into favor, out of favor, back into favor, back out of favor. And this presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Trading in those things, you might lose money. Any other financial instrument you come up with, you might lose money. Be careful out there. If you want somebody to tell you what to do based on your financial situation, there's people you can hire. But Jack and I are of the opinion if you just learn it and take care of yourself, nobody's going to watch out for number one better than number one. Nobody's taking care of your money better than you are. If you think they will, just send it right over here. I'll take care of it for you and make it some of mine. Anyway, have a hope everybody's having a great day here on what is it? Thursday?
I know
Yeah.
it's Thursday today. For some reason, I thought Tuesday was Wednesday. I've been a day ahead this week, so yes, it's Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, I think I misspoke yesterday when I said my gold trade was coming out tomorrow. It came out yesterday. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So that was a little misspeak. I think right before I left the show, that came out yesterday afternoon, and yeah, we're just kind of sitting here at the top. Maybe for a pop. Maybe we'll see. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are the most bullish days of gold historically. Why? I don't know. I don't care. I just take advantage of it. So anyway,
I thought I was going to hit it and quit it and walk off like Big Poppy on my silver trade.
yeah.
It gapped down, touched like 80. I thought it was going to come down below 79 and I would cash out. Not to be the case. It's down, but not down as much as it was on the open.
Down but not out. Yeah. It's silver's interesting because yesterday when Trump was posting right after the market closed that he's not going to do anything to Iran today, yesterday, and all of a sudden all the commodities took a step back, including silver, including gold, including oil. Oil took a big step back,
Yes, it
and
did.
but then today gold and silver just precious metals right back on the narrative that we've been on. So uh, you know the Iran stuff wasn't really the narrative for silver and gold. So we're
No.
right back to the shortages. And that's sitting right up there at the top.
I'm going to stick with my position though for a while.
Now, the interesting thing, even though that's straight up in the air, if we go, I just want to throw this out there. If we go to the historical ratio of gold to silver, for every 1 ounce of gold in the Earth's crust, there's 15 ounces of silver. So at the current price for gold, that would bring around $300 an ounce for silver if we had that ratio between the price of silver and the price of gold right
Wow.
now.
Why do you think there's such a disparity?
I don't know, like that's I think you know, there's been a lot of supply in silver and you have to want to own silver for price. Supply is what it is, and demand has to be higher for silver to go higher. In the older days, we were using silver for coins and using silver for this and that. Now it's, you don't see true silverware that much anymore. You
No.
don't see, coins aren't made with silver as much anymore. I was seeing each pre-1964 quarter has about 0.18 ounces of silver in it. So if you had, like 10 of those, you'd be having 1.8 ounces of silver. So, that would be a big chunk of money there. Those 10 quarters, which cost you like, what is that? $2.50 worth of quarters on face value. But in reality, they'd be worth like 160 bucks. So it's just kind of crazy.
Crazy arbitrage. But you can't melt it down though, right?
Well, you're not supposed to, I guess, but
Maybe they do that in Tennessee. You got a little smelter down there next to the lathe and the sawmill and the still? You got a
yeah,
whole industrial complex. I know you do.
I like to collect skills,
Smelting, is that one of them?
I might have to make a new one though, because I think it got a little moisture in it and cracked probably.
Yeah.
So I might
Doesn't
have to
that smell bad when you're melting down metals?
not really, because you're pumping out the fuel and everything. Like there's a lot of air and a lot of heat and a lot of fuel involved in doing that. And usually it's that the air is so hot, it's just, taking off and you don't really smell it too much. Um, I mean, it's like hot air rises, so it's going up pretty quick,
So you
and
are doing some smelting there, is what you're
y-
saying.
y- using the air compressor to blow more air into it, and it's the whole
Oh,
process. Kiln, smelter, however you want to, whatever you want to refer to it as. Anyway, I usually melt aluminum and copper more than anything else. So anyway, moving on.
yeah, look at that chart, man. That is just crazy.
Copper has an opportunity to break out though, right here. We could make a big move up in copper.
HG1. Yep.
And I have this suspicion that FCX may be a big winner of this if we actually get this going. This is a, relatively major copper producer. And we can see prices up here on FCX. Like in the short term, I have an $80 price target, but 90, 130, 350 if things really got spicy in copper. They're not going to build data centers and power plants without copper.
How does this stack up to SCCO? I just sold mine yesterday. I took a nice little profit in that.
Yeah, Southern Copper has been it's already been
Look at that sucker,
outperforming.
man.
This has been outperforming. So Freeport
Yeah.
McMoran has been
Dang.
lagging, and that's
What's
why
the
I feel
last price? Holy mackerel.
183
Got
right
out
there.
too soon. That happens. I tell people that I never pick tops or bottoms, and I always leave a lot of money on the table, which I did here. But the best part about trading is taking a profit.
Yeah.
So what it is, what it is. I got out too soon.
And this one's doing the ping pong thing that I talk about, where it hit that, pulled back, hit that, pulled back, probably gonna hit that, pull back. Hit,
250?
it could do it could, if it's gonna keep on this path, it could keep doing that right there. Ping pong in between these fib levels.
What's this beta here? Slide down a little bit there. I can't see the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'm going to get back in this on a little cool off. Yeah, 143.
Yeah, 143. Not too spicy. Yeah, we could have 237 on the upside there, and then it could come back into this 125 area. You
Normally, I
could
do a little better at getting out before it tuckers out, but this one, man, I sold. The thing though too is you always want to sell into strength. It's very difficult to sell into weakness. So that's kind of what I was doing here. But boy, did that thing get away from me.
look at that. I mean, it's just ping ponging on my fib levels almost
Yeah.
perfectly.
Now,
So
how do you
that
like this compared to FCX?
well, since this is so much higher priced, it's hard for me to play.
Yeah.
And when you look at the FCX charts, it just looks like it's behind, right? Like it,
Yeah, man, that thing looks nasty, though. I mean, I'd rather have SCCO come back a little bit and then start back up and jump on it. I like to jump on an already moving train. I don't really see this thing as kind of still at the station waiting to pull out.
I see it as about to break out, and it's like one of those catch up potentials. That's why I'm only looking for 80 right now, but the potential is here to maybe double. Whereas it's going to take a lot of effort for SCCO to double again.
Yes, it is.
So this one could double without really going, making a big move on this chart. I mean, back here in 2016, we were down at like $3, and now we're at
It's
60.
ridiculous. I know.
That's a big move up, and without, if you just kind of ignore this crap back here, this is a pretty good uptrend,
Yeah.
and it could double pretty easily. So
What
that's
caused
why
those big downtrends right there? That like that double bottom kind of thing. What
I don't
2016 to
know.
2020? What happened?
I don't know. I don't really care. I don't dive into that.
I just wonder. Look at that's pretty steep. Maybe the price of copper or something.
But yeah, I think there was maybe some rumor that they were going to have to liquidate or, sell some factory or sell some foundries or whatever. But right now, ride the hype train, baby. I mean,
Mhm.
it just why I like this better than SCCO is I feel like the opportunity for the price
Mhm.
appreciation is greater here, greater for this to double to 2x your money than SCCO.
Gotcha. And that makes sense because SCCO is kind of running hot. You know?
It's been running hot. It
Look
could
at
pull
that.
back
That's
very
too hot.
easily.
Needs to. That's way too hot.
And for this to double, we've got to go from 180 up to like 360, which is really spicy. And I don't think we could do that before we, see a sizable pullback. So
No, I
I
had a
feel like
little good run. I had a little directional trade there.
I just feel
I
like the
got a
opportunity is greater on FCX.
yeah, I got a little bit more going on directionally than I normally do. I got KLAC. I think I told you about that. Take a look at that sucker.
That was like the biggest mover this morning,
Jeez,
up
man, I
130.
know. I'm thinking like I got to pull the plug on this.
Yeah, that thing up 130
I know.
today. Whew.
That's running. I know. I gotta pull it. How does a company this size go up 8.5, 8.9%? That's insane. And that gap up there from 1460 to where it is now, that's pure air. It's got to come back to that 1460.
I'm a little surprised you're playing in here without a $1 million or a million share volume here.
I know. Well, I just again, man, this trend got me going, and I was going to do a debit spread on it. I mean, a bull put spread on it, and that's one thing, people. You got to remember what I love about the bull put spread is that the price of the stock does not matter. So you can trade any price stock you want using the same principles and concepts on all of them. But this trend looked good, and so I nibbled. And when it works, then I add a little more to it. I never average down, but if I buy a little bit and it goes up, I'll buy more. And then when it pops hard like this, that's not sustainable. So I'm going to sell that here as soon as we're done.
Yeah, that's a
Can't hold up
crazy,
there. Yeah.
crazy move. We're gonna have to pull back again. One of these
So
little.
yeah, so I did that with WDC. I don't even know what that's doing now. Let's take a look at WDC. Let's take a look at Clec. You think Clec's coming back to 1430?
I was just
Yeah,
saying, like
look at that sucker, man.
if
Holy mackerel.
yeah, that one's ripping again. Like
Okay, so I got out of that like 183, 189 from 172 to 179, then back in, out.
you know,
Look at how much I left on the table. I
you
left
know,
an obscene amount on the table.
it's not always about leaving. I mean, it's about
Yeah,
getting. It's about
listen,
getting.
that's
What'd you
right.
get?
I got a good piece there, but see that there's so much of this stuff that's running on air, man. This can't go straight up like that. It's gonna have to pull back. So I did clack. I did WDC, I did MU, and take a look at MU and SCCO. I did like four directional trades here. Yep.
MU. Yeah, that was
Gotta
straight
get
up
out of
too.
this too. What's this thing up? I gotta pull the plug on this stuff today.
Yeah, that was up another 3% today. I mean, just
Yeah, I'm done with this.
this could hit 399, but
Oh,
yeah,
Jan's
that's
been in clack since 38. Wow.
whew.
Hang on, Jan. No, I'm just doing little hit it and quit it's here. My old school buy high, sell higher. That's my whole thing. I love to buy high and sell higher. I'm not as good as Jeffrey buy low, sell high. That's not so much my thing. This is more my thing, but I'm gonna pull it off here.
Yeah, I picked up this one right on. Let me grab my drawing tool. I picked it up right here on this breakout after we did this pullback here. I picked it up here, suffered through this pullback, and then I sold out at 200 when we popped in here, and
Wow.
we hit my target right there. So
Wow.
I was in, basically wrote it up 100, which was a big move, and I did that with MUU, which was a
Okay.
leverage ticker. So make it 100% here. The MUU made basically 200% gain
Yeah.
right there. But then I haven't been sweating it that I missed another move up. I mean, the risk for downside. I mean, look at that one candle in here on this weekly chart.
All
Right.
all all the stuff I just mentioned to you, I gotta sell it. It's not gonna run. I'm even thinking about doing a little short trade on some of this.
So
Jeff Bantle got put WDC at 150 and sold it for 210. Sold a call Friday for 210. Look at that, man. I'm not in this anymore, but I would get back in if it's not so lofty.
yeah, a lot of these just need to pull back a little bit. I
A
mean,
lot of this stuff does. It's on fumes. That's not a strong trend. That's too parabolic.
so Jack, we talk about these bubbles and stuff, and it's I think we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. Is like human attention, like it'll be like this AI hype and paradigm shift, blah blah blah. Say what you will, it's really is kind of a bubble. Now, when I say it's a bubble, people think, oh well, everything involved in AI is going to pull back, it's going to crash the market. But if you look at the Consumer Electronics Show, which just wrapped up like last week, there were AI hair clippers, AI dust brooms, AI powered, and some of the people with these AI powered stuff couldn't even tell you how AI did anything to improve. I mean, like, how is AI hair clippers going to improve shaving your head? I mean,
You're
it's
right.
just,
I got that vibrating toothbrush. I don't know what it is, Philips or whatever, and it said it had AI in it.
yeah,
And I'm thinking, how does this thing have AI in it? How does it know how deep below my gum line it brushed? I mean, it's stupid. It
yeah.
has no AI in it. It's just programming.
As programmed the AI programmed to run for 3 minutes.
Yeah. There's a difference in programming and artificial intelligence, right? A
Yeah.
toothbrush cannot have AI in it. I don't care what Braun says.
Unless it's gonna, you hold it in front of your thing and it shoots like water at the very, you don't even like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But
Well, it doesn't know anything I don't know. It only goes where my hand puts it. So there's no AI in there.
yeah.
I should sue them for false advertising. No AI in hair clippers.
So I mean, it's kind of peak ridiculousness as far as everybody's trying to get on this bandwagon and get a little piece of this hype. And when I say it's a bubble, that's what I mean. Is like there's there's just ridiculous claims being made about products having AI that don't have AI. In fact, some of there's all this hype about AI being great at coding, yet there's a number of studies coming out lately that show that the coding quality is not quite up to snuff on a lot of the AI. So we're gonna have to go through a whole nother evolution and um, more improvement and more, yes, it's going, it's the worst it's ever going to be right now, but it's still going to take a lot more effort to get us on down the road. And I don't think it's like quite got the results and life-changing stuff that everybody thinks there are companies with AI products like Tesla, AI powered cars out on the road. Whether you believe it or not, those self-driving things are out there. They've got robots coming. They've got, there are real deal AI powered things coming. But as far as life-changing stuff that we can touch, there's not a lot of those products out there right now. And I think we're just due for a reckoning of sorts. The revenue doesn't match the investment. We saw that we see this mismatch all the time. It happened during COVID. We were getting all this investment in mRNA vaccines. We're going to cure all sorts of other diseases after that. And then all these charts took a giant punch in the face. It was hyped up and then it came back to reality. And it didn't just come back to reality, immediately. This thing took a good long time to come back to reality.
And so many people believed this was a great long-term hold based on all the vaccines and things they were going to develop and how it had a backlog of great new technology. Man, it had none of that. None.
And then, another one, BioNTech, same kind of hype, same sort of bubble burst. And then, another big popular player in there, PFE, had the same, like this got punished, it rode the train up and then got pummeled. That was the COVID vaccine hype, all this mRNA stuff. For a while, it was the hottest thing out there. AI right now, hottest thing out there. That, the bubbles don't have a timeline to them necessarily. They can keep going. But when it ends, it ends, it's over. Gold and silver. They're riding the AI hype kind of a little bit, but they're also on their own, like hedge against the dollar inflation and stuff like that. But then counter to gold and silver going higher, the dollar actually trying to break out of its downtrend a little bit here. It's actually setting up one of these reversal patterns. This is going to blow up a lot of narrative here if this thing actually starts breaking out. Short dollar was the big trade of last year. A lot of big money is still short the dollar, expecting this thing to continue down, gold and silver to go up. If this trade blows up, if we start getting the dollar index above 102, if this thing breaks above 102, you set an alert there. This thing's probably going to short squeeze. It may even pop and break up to a new all-time high. And gold and silver, oil, copper, all other commodities priced in US dollars are going to have downward pressure because dollars are going higher. Now, it doesn't mean that the prices go lower. It just has has downward pressure because other currencies can't buy the amount of US denominated commodities that they want and need when the dollar is strong. So this is back to economics, not necessarily trading. It's just one of those things to watch here. It can kind of change the game and change the tune of what's being talked about and said if we break above 102 on the dollar index. How could you play it? You could play it with UUP. You could play it with FXY, dollar yen. You could play it with FXE, dollar euro. Play it with FXB, which is dollar Great British Pound. So just got to be careful out there. And Jack, I didn't mean to get out of your wheelhouse at all. I was just kind of jumping around.
No, I'd never looked at the dollar in my life as a trade. I'm fascinated by how you can find a lot of great opportunities here.
I'm just jumping around the world, just kind of talking about macroeconomics here a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's good. I'm not versed in it at all. I'm the Homer Simpson of the trading community. I got my basic little stuff that I do and I stay in my lane. This is outside of the scope of my thought process.
This is how, even though we're on this commodity bull train, this is how the commodity bull train can come apart a little bit. The wheels could come off of it. And the narrative can shift. This is a risk. Breaking above 102 is a risk to gold and silver continuing to rally.
Last time I did a currency was when Shinzo Abe came into power in Japan, and I shorted that yen ETF and made a nice little profit. He just wanted to race to the bottom with his currency, right? Because he wanted to rejuvenate exports. What was that? YFC or something? A yen ETF? I don't know.
The
That was the last time I did it. That was,
FXY is the
was it
one I know of.
Dixie?
That's Japanese
Maybe,
yen right here.
maybe that was it. I don't remember. Long time ago. Couldn't. I read the story and I just thought this guy wants the currency down. I mean, shoot, that was an easy trade. He just came out and said it.
Yeah. I mean, it's sometimes the trade's so obvious that you just have to
Yeah,
ride it.
you can't believe it. I know. Oh, that's the same thing I thought when I saw Fermi. I mean, that was obvious to me. This is obviously oversold at some point, and I nibbled it in there at 770. Now, just a couple days ago, I thought I was going to get called. Was that your bell or my bell?
Had to be yours. I didn't hear anything.
Okay, I just did a trade. Um, I won't go look at that now because it'll distract me. But so I got this baby boxed in really good. I'm long the stock. I sold the $10 call, which expires tomorrow, and I sold the
Yeah.
750 put, and I sold the $5 put. That $5 put just kills me that there'd even be a market for that. Look at that thing, man.
And
So all that expires tomorrow.
you might get called out. You might not. I mean, it's kind of a coin flip sitting here at
You
980.
take it. You can have it. If you want it, you can buy it. You could take it from me at 10. Um, no, I like this one. This is just this got a lot. I got a high conviction in this. You got a gap down, which I find fascinating. You got a terrible news story, which I love it. You got huge disappointment. I think I told everybody this is just such a failed deal, but it's kind of real. So I'm trading it. But I like this right here.
Yeah. I mean, it just doesn't have enough reversal for me yet. So
Yeah,
we differ
um,
just slightly on that, but
I like it. I'm going to do a little more of it actually today and tomorrow.
now
It
the
doesn't
one
have
we
weeklies though. That's the problem. Takes a long wait.
what's that to me too is a on the con
Turn off.
list, I guess you might say.
Yeah, it's a turn off. But
Now
here we go.
this one right here, rocket fuel baby is what I gotta say. Um, my little four block, my four options I've been selling since September here, just shy of $9 a share as
Dang,
of the roll I did today. Just shy of $9 a share. I mean, that's just crazy money.
it is. Yeah, it's a little almost embarrassing. I
I'm
keep
trying to
selling the 1850 puts over and over, and I'm short the 1750 puts, and I think I'm short. I sold like the 23 call. This thing's just been such a moneymaker. I'll wave it goodbye when it breaks out, but until then, I'm gonna milk this thing.
Yeah, I thought I'd pull this over and just for those that maybe missed out, maybe don't understand what we've been doing. All the way back here in September, I started with three contracts right here, collecting 43 cents and then carrying it forward every week since then. And I added a fourth contract to it along the way. And I'm using 7,900 bucks of buying power.
I love that, man.
I've collected $3,459 of premium doing four contracts, just rolling it forward every week.
Without even touching the stock, folks.
Never been put to stock, rolling, 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 rolling. What is rolling? Rolling's buying the current contract you have sold, selling a new contract all in one order. I've just been doing that over and over and over, including earlier today, right here, the 15th, rolled these forward, collected more money right there.
Nice.
And, all in all, almost $9 a share. Taking 400 shares. I got four contracts open. I've never been put the shares. never bought shares, just keep selling these puts at the same strikes, basically. Been doing that, October, November, December, January, 4 months now. Collected almost $9. This is why Jack and I love TSLL.
Oh man, I
I
know.
don't
I
know.
collected a lot of premium on this thing, man.
So think about it. Even if I got put right now, I'd be $9 to the good. So I'd have
Yeah.
$9 of downside cushion here from the current price.
That's why guy asked me this morning, like you're short the 1850 put, and it's at eight, it's below that. Aren't you worried? And about getting the stock assigned to you. I said that'd be a gift. It'd be a gift if I got the stock at 1850. I'm not worried about it at all. I've got the other thing too is I've got a longer term view with this than I think a lot of people do. They're thinking about tomorrow morning from today, whereas I'm thinking about, how's this going to end up at the end of the year or longer. So I'm not worried about it at all. I just go in DR and sell, sell to open. I could do it today. Another one, 1850 or $18, sell to open, however many cash secured puts you want. You're going to have $1,850 for each contract in the account, or 1,800, whichever strike you use. And that's just it. I go in on a limit, and or sometimes I even do it at the market if it's moving fast, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, and right now at the mid, the difference between Jack and I, usually I will come down here and go for the one that's about 40% ROI for my initial one. Jack, when he's going after these ones he's more aggressive on, will usually go right at the money or slightly in the money.
Mm-hmm. Because I want it. Just that's just the thing, is that I can keep, if I get it. Number one, I've already cash flowed it before I got it. Number two, I think it's got upside, huge, right? And
Mhm.
and I could sell calls against it if I want to cash flow it more. This is a win-win-win. And just so people know, I have a good piece of this, and I keep selling cash secured puts on it. I'll take more. I've also sold calls against it, but I haven't sold calls against all of it because I'm expecting it to pop, and I don't want to cap the whole position.
So if you collect $81 and if you were to do this right now and sell an 1850 and you collect $81 credit, this $81 credit divided by 1770 is the margin they would keep out of your account right now, and 12 cents. So that's 4.5% in 8 days.
Yowzers. Now, do the full math.
If you were able
People
to
go, 4% in 8 days, that's nothing.
If you were able to roll out 365 days and do this exact same thing, or keep this going every week of the year, we would multiply it by 365. What was that? Four, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I clicked the wrong thing there. Got 81 divided by 1770.12, 4.5% divided by 8 days times 365 days. It's 208%.
Picking up chump changes, as my buddy says. Why would you do that for 4%?
So
See,
4% in
well,
8 days is 200% annualized.
because you don't quit. That's the thing. It's not just one trade where you make 4% for the year and you're done. You keep doing this. The only way to really screw this up is to stop doing it, which, if you have any kind of drive at all, like Jeffrey does, he just grinds it out. Just don't stop doing it. And that's very little to ask, right? You just don't quit. Just have determination.
Yeah, I took, last week on the show, I rolled out the 19s and the 20s or whatever, or 1950s and 20s that I had. I just did it before I went live. I rolled out the 1950.
The
And this
puts.
is yeah, this is what I was just talking about, just showing off. Like I just rolled these right before I went live here, about an hour, it's an hour and a half ago now. Rolled it out. 27 cents more credit there for that one, and 19 cents credit for those three at 20. And why would I do that instead of just taking the shares? It just look, 19 cents to roll here versus 19 cents to get credit on the calls. 27 cents to roll here versus 27 cents on the calls. So it there's no advantage to taking the shares for me right now. I can get the same credit rolling the puts as I can, taking the shares and then selling the calls. So for me right now, I just went ahead and rolled the puts. Keep it rolling.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
So
Keep them doggies rolling.
I'm bullish on it. I may never take these 400 shares. I already have a chunk of shares, so I don't need, I can take the $9 and walk away and be happy. I mean, that's almost 50%. When I get to, basically when I get to $10, that's 50% gain on the shares that I've never taken right there, if you think about it. So, it's hard to argue against making 50% return on something in 4 months that you've never owned.
Case study right there. Never owned it, made all that cash flowing it, using it as an asset to create cash flow. That's it.
So anyway, what if you already have TSL shares? Sell above your cost basis.
Calls.
Sell calls above your cost basis. Or, you can sell more puts and take more shares. And if you wanted to cash flow your shares, if you don't want to get called out no matter what, don't sell a call.
Or sell one at a ridiculously high strike.
Yeah, and right now there's not a ton of premium at ridiculously high strikes.
Unless
You'd
you
have to,
go out in time a little bit.
you'd have to be pretty aggressive to do that. So, you come out. Even here, there's not a ton of premium and not a ton of.
No, weird.
You're gonna have to go out a few, several months to get much premium, and it's still not very liquid right now. It's interesting. We're seeing this tighten up a little bit compared to what it was just a couple months ago. People are, I guess, market makers are getting wise to the fact that it's not moving much. So all the actions right here about 1 standard deviation,
Yeah, right in a tight spot.
and that's where you see these thousands of contracts, and then it drops off. There are 18,000 sitting right there. That's interesting.
Very.
That may be somebody selling. Somebody may have a butt ton of shares and be selling that 28 against them.
Well, you wouldn't want to cap it there if you had a butt ton. You'd want to, well,
Well,
maybe.
well, I mean, it depends on where you got put. If you were put down here at 10 and you could, sell your 180,000 shares, or what is that? Yeah, 180,000 shares. Or 1.8 million shares. I don't know. That'd be a pretty big gain.
That'd be a
So
big gain. 18 million.
anyway, what we got next? Fly.
Fly and then VRT.
So Fly, I've got the 2050 all the way down here sold for this Friday. Tomorrow, 1 day left.
I got the 23 sold.
No money left. No money left on that. No money left on the 23.
I'm going to roll it. And I got the 32 call sold against my long. I put the triple header on it. Cash
30.
secured put, long stock, sold covered call.
Yeah, you'd be lucky if you don't get called out tomorrow. Like this
Call
thing
me
looks
out.
this thing looks
32
prime
tomorrow.
for the pop.
You could take it. You could have it.
Looks prime for a pop right there.
That's cool. I'll take it. I'm long all over the place, but 23 to 28. So I'll take the 32 call out. When are we going to get a little pullback in this? Look, that's going to hit that little gap and then go. 32. It might run from 32.
I'm
Yeah.
expecting it to pop to 37 and then maybe get a little pullback.
That would be beautiful to 29. Yeah, what you're drawing right there is exactly what I would love to see. Get back up to that big green candle under the D over there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I expect, because when you get gap downs, you have this psychology. People were buying right here, and they just want to get their money back. And that usually creates some sort of pullback when we fill a gap from the bottom.
Those people are thinking, I don't want the cheese. I just want out of the trap. So I'm
Yep.
going to get out at the break even. And then it gets soft. And then once it changes hands, it's good to go.
And then we can pull back to this consolidation back in here. You can see where it was consolidating all the way across here. That's why I drew this right here. We would retest that support and then potentially break on out and cruise back higher again.
I like it. This is one of my favorites. I like the
So
price. It doesn't tie up a lot of capital when you're doing a cash secured put, 2,300 bucks. Uh, yeah, the Fly is a great cash flow, uh, great wheel stock, great to sell cash secured. In my opinion, it's worked really well for me. Again, it's one of the failed IPOs that I like to play with. But this has been a good cash cow. The beta's high, the options are juicy. Been selling puts against it forever since we found it, and selling calls and long a little stock
yeah, it looks like a good spot is probably going to be this 25.50
for
for
next week.
2 weeks out. You can get
Yeah,
about almost $90 for it.
yeah, I'll probably do that. Yeah, I
I've
like
been
that.
finding the 2 week out on Fly tends to pay a little better than the 1 week out. And looking at it right here, yeah, 20 like look at that. I'm really good at this. 25.50. The PXO picked it. 25.50 January 23rd right there. Pays
Nice.
39%. I guess that's next week, so that's 1 week out. Saying, yeah, I was going 2 weeks out, so
That's perfect.
same kind of deal.
I'll do another one of those.
So 25.50, that's the pick, 40% ROI basically, right at it. And then your upside for next week would be right up there at 34.50 to get 47%. Now this software just helps cut out doing all the math manually.
Oh
I can
man,
eyeball it and I can guess, but this thing just helps so much.
you can eyeball it and guess because you're experienced at it. But yeah, for a don't make me think type solution, this software does it because you just type in your parameter, like for the $50,000 a month cash flow challenge. The goal is there's like 36% ROI on each trade. And so when you just look at that right there, it'll tell you if that's your goal, it'll tell you which one to sell. Whether you want to do a cash secured put, see down there at the bottom, kind of
Yeah,
right
this
down there.
purple line right here. And
No,
it actually has
yeah,
a,
down there by the sell put and sell call. Yeah, down there by that blue button,
yeah,
lower
it's actually,
right there. Yeah. So it tells you which one. And it used to take me literally about an hour to decide, and now it's done for you. And this thing is so fast, and it's running off of real-time option data, which is fantastic
it just
because you don't
updated
have to
right there.
look at this and then you look at your platform on Schwab and it's not the same price. That's not the case. This is right up to the second. It refreshes like every minute, and it's been amazing. It's expensive, but it's not only does it help me decide which totally helps me decide which option to select, but the tracking part of it will show you, are you making any money or losing money? The tracking is phenomenal.
Yeah, and then I have my Fly trade open and it says which one do you want to look at. This one's archived, this one's active. I can actually put it on the chart and look at it, and I haven't taken the shares yet. I've only sold the 2050 all the way down here off the chart. So that one's probably going to go out for full profit, and I could potentially sell one for next or for 2 week, next week or 2 weeks out right there at the 25.50.
Good stuff. Yeah, Fly's a great wheel stock.
So it's just one it's not going to show up in the scanner. This is just one that Jack put me onto. Um, yeah, these settings right here are not the default. These are my settings. These are the stocks that come up to match my settings. Aggressive, that's IRIN, and my watch list here. So I'm not really looking for a new one right now per se. I might do this Fly again. One I've been on though, one I've been is CSIQ. This looks like it may have bounced off my roadmap line and has potential to go higher again. So you could play out next Friday with a 1950. Be right down here at the where we made the lows earlier, I guess last week and this week. So if you believe that CSIQ can go higher, this would be another one that you could play. 25 on the upside there. If you take the shares, do a cover call, 37% ROI. Otherwise, if you want to do a sell a put down here at 1950, that's a little, the cost on this one's a little better compared to Fly right now, since Fly's just on a rip. So I don't know if you have any opinions on CSIQ, Jack, but
None. Once I get into stuff, I tend to just stick with it rather than looking for new plays. I just don't like that chart. I don't see anything in that.
yeah, this pullback right here, looking at the bigger 6-month trend, it's been pretty ripping hot, but we're on a pullback. That's usually where I can pick up the premium. I traded the crap out of this one back here for a couple months, then it ran away. Now it came back to me.
Yeah, you're good at that, man. That roadmap and your ability to pattern recognition is second to none. Whereas, I just like to buy high, sell higher. I got to keep it simple. And I keep going back to the same stuff until the trend is kind of broken. I'll play fly and all this other stuff till the cows come home. But once it's over, it's over. I'll bail on it, but not yet. And I got a
Yeah.
hot situation in vert. I don't know what to do. I just cannot get a good grip on this vert. I traded a lot, but it just
Well, this is what we got. I mean, that's the pattern that we got cooking here.
yeah.
Until we get the daily close above that level right there at 180. Has
Yep.
potential to go down more. When we get above that 180,
I got
211s.
calls sold up there 180 and higher, and I had the stock put to me at 177 and 175 and
Yeah,
170.
right now we're just grinding this potential breakout resistance zone right here.
Yeah.
It's resistance until we get above it, and then it's a breakout.
I love the story, and I shouldn't have read it because I don't believe in reading it, and I did it anyway. And then nine times out of 10, when I read about it, I talk myself out of it because I don't want to know what they do. I just want to focus on the chart. I don't want to get caught up in the BS, but I sometimes I can't help it. I read about it and I liked it, and then that wholly changes your opinion. I shouldn't have read it.
This hadn't really gone anywhere since October. TSLL since September. This one's almost the same time frame, just churning in that
A lot
area.
of my stuff is like that. Nvidia hasn't gone nowhere. All my hot stuff is just not hot,
And
just sideways. Nvidia, TSLL, all my good stuff. AVGO, it's just none of it's at a new high.
I see a couple of people, saying, "How do you make money doing this sort of stuff?" There you go. This is my 3-month real deal account. You wonder, like, when did I screenshot this? Here's the trade I did yesterday, July 4th or January 14th, right there. So this was last night. I took this screenshot. My 3-month realized profit and loss. This is not like open profit and loss. This is realized book gains. $30,240.
Awesome.
I make real money doing this stuff. Selling, like, look at that. How many loser days have I got? One little loser day in there. Here in a couple weeks, I'll have no loser days for 3 months. So booking a little bit of gain every single day.
Yep.
That's what I do to try to make money. So people that say you can't make any money doing this stuff Jack and I are talking about, I call bullshit.
And me too. I got the stats to prove it. I've done it on positions, and I've done it on premium selling, and just my portfolio of tech has gone up real well. Yeah, I have losing trades, but I can't remember net losing money, even for a month, or definitely not for a year. It's market's been really good to me.
So just in case anybody thought my 50K challenge thing wasn't necessarily truthful. This is the actual Robinhood account snapshot that goes with this, and I didn't make this up. I mean, this was a real deal, like off my phone last night. That's what it does in your account when you do this. Just making little gains every day.
Not trying to hit homers. He refers to it sometimes as picking up 20s every day.
Yeah.
But that's the consistency when you have a system where you're not shooting for home runs. Most people's trader shows you his growth curve. It's going to look like, you know, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is beautiful growth curve.
And it's accelerating a little bit. So hopefully I can
Yeah.
get this on
Yeah.
a nice upswing here.
Yeah. Get to that 50 grand a month, then you'd be living large.
So that's my goal. If nobody's heard this before, you look at my 1 year profit, it's 50,000. The goal is to get this account to make 1 month profit at 50,000. Sitting right at 16-ish right now, 15, 16. And my 3 month profit, obviously right here, 30,000 last night. This, because I dropped the day off, 29.12. So I'm getting there, getting there.
Slowly but surely. And yes, we are going to be in Florida together. We're going to have a good time, and that's going to be February 9th, 10th in Jacksonville. So Blake, if you got the link for my diamond program and Jeffrey's program, maybe drop it in the chat if anybody wants to come and visit with us live. We're going to do live trades. We're going to make money live. Anybody that takes some trades might see some cash flow hit their account right when we're doing it. And hopefully you'll walk away with a lot of great information so you could take what you learned and apply it yourself.
Yeah, Jack and I'll be live. I think Lance will be there live with us, and I'm not
Lance,
sure who else.
maybe Nate. Yeah, it's going to be great. And what's cool is there's a lot of different input there. What Lance does follows the scanner, option flow scanner, that type of thing. And, Nate's big with the debit spreads. And it's just a really great time to learn everything and meet people. And you meet other people that are trading. I say a lot of times that trading's a lonely game, a lonely business. You might talk to other traders on the phone, but it's something you do by yourself. And it's good. You go to Florida, you're going to meet a lot of not just us, but other people that do it, and maybe forge some friendships there.
That's trading as part of community is, I feel like, the strength in what we do. And here's the downtrend on VRT. We're gonna have to break above that too, Jack, to see some upside.
We are. And you know what though, what doesn't bother me, people say, man, you never, Jeffrey points these out and they look like they're going lower and you don't flinch. And that's because I can cash flow this thing even if it does go down. If it goes down to 158, it's not the over. I'm not over. It's not over for me, right? I just keep selling calls and keep at it. Don't stop doing it.
Yeah, I don't know Jack's Diamond Cub link. I know if you filled out my inquire and they contact you about me, you could talk to them about Jack's too.
Yeah, Blake, do you have the link for
Golly.
What you're looking for?
the link to my diamond program?
Yeah, I can definitely get it. Just give me one moment here.
One. Time's up.
Time's
No, so I'm going to stay with Vert again. I got a longer term view. If it goes down to 160, 144, whatever, it won't shake me out. I think it'll be worth a lot more down the road. So I'm going to continue to cash flow it. And the other thing is, it pays big. I mean, these cash secured puts have been big payers, and the covered calls at 180. Stuff over that, it's still been a big payer. So even though it looks down, according to Jeffrey's analysis, and I tend to agree with him, but I'm going to continue to cash flow it. And that's one of the best things about the wheel. You really never even have to get out of it. Even if you have a unrealized loss, you could just, on the stock, you could just continue to cash flow the thing and it all comes around.
So a negative beta here means that it tends to move opposite the S&P 500 for the person asking that. So right there. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, quick Google answered that question for me.
That means it
And
moves minus.
it tends to move inverse of the S&P 500,
Hmm.
but also have more volatility. So
Wow. Cool.
interesting. So everybody, Jack, you got a little something to advertise here.
I think so. One of my most favorite things in the world is this cash flow agent. Is that what we got, Blake?
That's what we got today. We got the
Man, oh man.
cash flow agent, which is actually one of my favorites too. And I just did something very similar last night with Nate. So this should be good.
Yeah, it's a jack in a box. They took my mental knowledge on how do you apply and how do you find these juicy credit spreads every week and explained it. And they took my words and put it into code. And what we have now is this cash flow agent. And it's been good. How about this thing, man? Bouncing around, bouncing around. You think it's going lower?
Well, I mean, it has upside potential, and then that's resistance. And if we bounce off resistance, it could come down here.
Yeah,
So,
I love
I mean,
this one.
if we, yeah, stock at rest tends to stay at rest.
Yeah,
So until we break out and then, do some stuff like sideways is where I expect it to just keep going.
I love it. I
And
got put the stock. I sold the 345 cash secured put. I got the stock last week. It's up a tiny bit. I sold the 360 call against that. It's just been a gift. Pays a nice dividend. Uh, yeah, I love it.
so it just turned in here. I know usually you roll in here on Tuesdays and sell a debit or a credit spread.
Hmm.
Where'd you
I've
get
been using Goog this week, last two
Goog?
weeks. Goog's
Googs?
been smoother for me. Yeah, see that? That's my bag of chips right there. That's me. I love that. I love that trend. So I used Goog this week.
Okay.
Uh, I sold the three. I don't even remember what I sold. 325 and bought the 322.50, something like that.
Yeah, that was going to be my guess, 325. So,
Mhm.
your Jack in the Box software though helps you find stuff like this. If
It does. It used to take me half an hour to find one trade. Now the Jack in the Box does the whole thing. So it's kind of scary and it picks way more than I do, faster than I ever could. I don't know how they have this thing working so fast, but you just click on it and it brings up the exact trade you should take, shows you the yield, expiration, the whole 9 yards, and happens fast. Very
That's
good
right.
stuff.
That's real good stuff. Well, if you guys are ready, I can get that started here. I got the
Yeah.
recording ready to go.
Yes. Go for it. I got to go to ankle therapy.
Yeah, you do. Man, that's I feel your pain on that, brother.
You should. I
I
can't take the pills and it's terrible.
I
All right,
know.
guys. I'll let you go.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Stick around. Here we go.
Tell you that we develop tools and strategies to the best